maybe, can you think of a way in which, as you were a freshman, for example, you were already watching seniors so you could learn how to be a senior without even realizing if that's what you were doing? Which, by the way, means that if you're a senior now, you are being watched. Which begs a really interesting question. Are you prepared to say to freshmen at Worland High School, when you grow up to be a senior, I want you to do it just like I've done it? For those of you that say, yeah, not so much, Donne says, too late. They're already watching. They're already watching. You don't get to choose. Another observation. Obviously, this notion of the interconnectivity of life and death suggests to us that there's much that can be learned from pain and suffering. While we wouldn't want it, we can learn to ask the question, why did pain happen for us, not to us? And in that moment, we can begin to gain what he calls gold or treasure. Finally, we might make the observation that he says that every time he's reminded of death, while it's sad, it's also liberating. It is instructional for him. He can build his life around the realization that death is coming, not in a frightful way, but to realize that in his passing, others will be affected. In other words, it goes both ways. Your passing, there will be those who are affected by that in some way. And the longer you live, and the better a life you live, the more people are affected. The ripple effect happens. All right, obviously we can make some observations at 2b in regards to the kind of poetic prose that we're looking at here, this notion of the use of conceit. At 3a, we've already mentioned Hemingway's classic text. We've also mentioned Conrad's Heart of Darkness. What is for you the film that most makes you think about this idea that all humans are somehow connected together in some way? And finally, a 3b question. Do you think it's true that because of our technologies, the phones, etc., that we are actually closer together as a species? So, for example, some terrible tsunami happens in East Java, and almost literally immediately we can know about it here in our hemisphere, and then we can begin to somehow participate. Do you think we are closer? Or rather, is it the opposite? That all the technology is somehow creating some kind of gap between us, and we are increasingly more aware of everyone else because of face filth and other kinds of technologies, but we somehow are not really that connected anymore. Do you feel like you are a part of other people's lives and the way that other people's lives are connected with you? Well, there you go, an introduction to John Donne's Meditation 17. Thank you.